Have you ever heard about this secret energy, one that's supposedly coiled up like a serpent inside every single one of us, holding the key to enlightenment, maybe even psychic powers, and our own evolution? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today, this mysterious force known as Kundalini.
I mean, it sounds like the setup to a joke, right? You've got ancient yogis sitting in deep meditation. Then you have modern scientists mapping the brain's electrical signals. And then, way out there, you've got these manuals for psychic commandos that feel like they're straight out of a comic book. What in the world could possibly connect all of these things?
Well, the answer is this one single, really powerful idea: Kundalini. It's the thread that ties them all together. It's seen as a path to God, a messy biological process, and a source of pretty much superhuman abilities. So come on, let's pull on that thread and just see where it takes us.
Okay, so first things first, we need a baseline. What are we actually talking about when we even use the word Kundalini?
You know, what's wild is that across all these different traditions, the core concept is shockingly similar. It's always described as this kind of latent evolutionary energy that's just sitting inside every person. And the most common symbol by far is a serpent, coiled up and sleeping at the base of the spine, just waiting for the right moment to awaken and rise up.
And this quote right here, from Gopi Krishna, it really sets the stage perfectly for our journey today. He was convinced that behind all the myths, all the magic, all the exaggeration, there is a real, tangible phenomenon. So our mission here is to peel back all those layers and try to find that solid core of truth he was talking about.
Let's start with the most ancient and, the most well-known world, the disciplined path of the yogi. This is where Kundalini is treated as a sacred power, something to be cultivated with incredible care and respect.
Now, as it was taught by masters like Yogi Bhajan, this is not a passive thing at all. It's actually a really detailed science of self-transformation, and it uses a whole toolkit. You've got physical postures, the asanas, very specific breathing techniques called pranayama, hand gestures or mudras, and these things called bandhas, which are body locks that act like little hydraulic pumps for your internal energy. And all of this is woven together with chanted mantras and deep meditation. Every single piece has a very specific job to do.
And this slide makes it incredibly real. See, this isn't just theory. This is a specific exercise or a kriya called Sat Kriya. It's a precise combo of posture, breath, and sound. That rhythmic chanting of Satnam while you're pulling in the navel, that's not random. It's literally designed to generate a physical pressure at the base of the spine, right where that coiled serpent is supposedly sleeping.
So here's the crucial part. For the yogi, this isn't just a workout. The goal is absolutely profound. It's all about awakening that dormant energy to purify your body, your mind, your spirit, and ultimately to reach a state of enlightenment, where your individual self just merges with the entire universe.
But what happens when this experience bursts out of the monastery and into the modern world, without that whole framework of yoga to explain it? Let's shift gears now to the clinical perspective, which looks at this energy through a completely different lens. So a psychiatrist named Lee Sinella started documenting these cases of people who, often just out of the blue, started having these bizarre and really powerful physical symptoms. They'd report crazy heat flashes, uncontrollable shaking, seeing inner lights, hearing sounds, and almost always this distinct feeling of energy just rushing up their spine. Now, to a doctor, this looks like a textbook neurological disorder. But to a yogi, this looks exactly like a Kundalini awakening that's gone off the rails.
And right here is where you see the two worlds just collide. The classic ancient model uses a spiritual map. It talks about psychic energy channels called nadis and energy centers called chakras. The clinical model tries to map the exact same experience onto the physical body, the central nervous system, brain activity, maybe even the hypothalamus, which could explain those intense heat flashes. So, is it a spiritual path to enlightenment or a profound biological event?
Okay, you're going to want to buckle up for this next part because we are about to take a very sharp turn. If the yogic path is one world and the clinical view is another, this third interpretation, well, it's from another galaxy entirely. Forget enlightenment, forget brain chemistry, we are now entering the world of magic and superpowers.
Yeah, forget all that quiet meditation and union with the infinite. In this view, Kundalini isn't about transcendence at all. It's about power, worldly power, psychic control, bending reality to your will.
And I promise you, I am not making this up. This is a real technique from a book by an author named Anna Billion. It literally says that to solve a problem, you have to visualize psychic symbols in your brain, and then use your psychic power hands to open your own skull and vacuum them out with a psychic Vibra-Designer vacuum hose. It is a stunningly literal, almost mechanical approach to psychic power. It's something else. And it does not stop there. Oh no, the same system includes visualizing giant hat pins to psychically attack your enemies, a luck cord that runs out of your navel that you can check and change for better luck, and even magic words to dissolve clouds. See, this isn't about finding inner peace, this is about becoming a psychic commando.
And this idea of Kundalini as this source of raw, almost terrifying power has totally bled into fiction too. In a thriller by Stephen Barnes, a character who has an awakening is described like this, not as peaceful, not as enlightened, but as this terrifying superhuman force, basically a walking biological weapon, all powered by that same coiled serpent.
Okay, so let's take a breath. We have the saint, the hospital patient, and the psychic commando. 3 wildly, wildly different takes. Is there any possible way to bring them all together?
This table lays it all out pretty clearly. For the yogi, the method is discipline and meditation, and the goal is spiritual liberation. For the clinician, the mechanism is a biological process in our nervous system, and the goal is basically rebalancing the body and mind. And for the psychic, the tool is visualization and pure willpower, and the goal is straight-up worldly power and control.
So what if they're all just describing the exact same core phenomenon? Maybe Kundalini is just a name we give to this fundamental human capacity for radical change. The yogi interprets this potential through a spiritual lens, the clinician through a biological one, and the psychic, well, through a lens of magic and power. It's the same energy, just with a different operating system.
And Gopi Krishna takes this whole idea one giant step further. He proposed that Kundalini isn't just about you or me having a personal transformation. He saw it as the very engine of human evolution, a biological mechanism that's literally embedded in our DNA, pushing our entire species toward a new, higher state of consciousness.
So, in the end, what is Kundalini? Is it a literal biological blueprint for the future of our species? Is it a powerful metaphor for psychological growth? Or is it a secret key to unlocking some kind of unimaginable power? The sources, they don't give us one single answer. They just offer up this series of fascinating and totally contradictory maps to our own inner potential. The only question left is, which map are you going to choose to follow?